The Warriors to get the ball first here in Friday night footy in Townsville. Fire into the starting lineup this week. Bringing it back for the visitors. Just the one finals appearance for them since the 2011 grand final. Been another tough year for them. They'll be back home permanently in 2023 and looking to finish this season with some momentum, coming off that big win against the Bulldogs last week. Late tries really blowing out the margin as they racked up 42 points. Fanua Blake so impressive last week. And Tohu Harris, the other starting front rower. And they're up to halfway for the first kick of the ball game. Really slow play the ball, so there's some pressure on Johnson. Floats it down to Murray Taulagi. They'll bring it back for the Cowboys, and a steady start from the Warriors.
They're really interesting to hear Todd Payten before the game talk about winning hurts, and you got to pay the price. You know, the winning hurts bit. You know, usually we talk about the price that they've got to pay, and it's not going to come easy. And it's the message right across the team. Most of the players, when you talk in any interviews, they're talking about how hard it is to win.
Terrific run out of dummy half from Valentine Holmes after some good metres on offer for Kyle Feldt, who's back in the lineup after recovering from his hamstring issue. And this guy's a starter again, Jordan McLean. First time he's been able to start since round 16. An attacking kick from Townsend. And some interference run on Jeremiah Nanai. As we check in with our man on the sideline tonight, Brent Tate.
Good evening, Speedy. Good evening, Flano. Beautiful conditions down here at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. It's 23 degrees, and there's a slight breeze behind the Cowboys' back, but playing conditions are absolutely perfect here. And we did hear from Todd Payten wanting the Cowboys to fix up their starts, so interesting to see how they kick this one off tonight, lads.
The Warriors know the importance as well of not letting the Cowboys get away from them early on. As we start set for set here. Kick to come from Walsh this time. He gets a good purchase on it. Down to his opposing fullback in Drinkwater. He's been terrific since getting that number one on his back in round 5.
He's so dangerous. He's got so much confidence over the last couple of months. Under the high ball, he's been sound, and then bringing the football back, he's been outstanding. And then when you get down the opposition's end, he's just been, if not assisting in tries, he's scoring in himself as we get a penalty right on the 40-metre line for the Cowboys, and aren't they happy about it?
Hats on the back for Murray Taulagi. We get the post-contact metres and then held down far too long, just inside the 40-metre line, so an ideal spot to get a penalty and play it next on the opposition 40-metre line. So Hess sets them up, and an opportunity here for North Queensland to put on a pet play at the back end of this one. McLean, look at the post-contact metres there, up to towards that 20-metre line. Townsend had to search for it, links up with Dearden. Drinkwater with depth, great hands from Valentine Holmes, had to juggle it. Slow service for Dearden into Tamalolo. Quiet last week against the Roosters, just 68 metres run on 10 hit-ups for JT. And now Dearden throwing the dummy. And Johnson, great defensive work with Murchie, and an assist from Reece Walsh as the Warriors defend their line and don't quite give up the set restart. So Townsend has to go cross-field, batted back in trademark fashion from Hess. Hiku trying to improvise. Won't be able to get rid of the footy, and the Warriors stand up defensively early on.
Yeah, I feel Peter Hiku was thinking about putting the ball on his boot, but was a bit concerned that he might have had a bit too much weight on it, and he's quite happy to just turn it over a metre off the try line. As we see the Cowboys' defence really strong and aggressive, but no metres gained there on play one.
Now Wateni Zalesniak off the long run, but not too many metres on offer for him, and the Cowboys drive him back, and the referee's happy with that. And they get 6 again coming up here, the Cowboys. What a defensive effort that was. A signal of intent.
Yeah, and look who's in the middle of it. Cohen Hess spoke about it pre-game. His coach wants him to start positive and start strong. That's a really good start for the front rower.
They knew where it was going. Wateni Zelezniak tried to come off the long run, but it did him no good, so they go short dropouts. Does it get the 10? Needs a lucky bounce, and it doesn't arrive. So penalty right in front for the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's a risk you take. You've got to get them right, especially at the start of the game, just to give 2 points for the Cowboys.
You would take the 2? No hesitation here?
Yeah, well, especially at this start of the game, you know, you can't predict if you're going to get away and score points. Well, looks like they're going to tap it, are they? Might have got me wrong.
Yeah, they've got all the momentum right now. They feel like they can crack the Warriors. And Taumalolo just goes right up the middle.
An old captain I had, Paul Gallen, used to take the 2 points every time.
Didn't even look to the coach. And now Hess, who started it defensively, finishes off, hitting and spinning his way through just one defender, and that was Reece Walsh. Talk about a mismatch as the Warriors miss their assignment there, and Cohen Hess responds to a rocket or two.
Well, I definitely got it wrong, and the Warriors got it wrong here. Some nice play out of dummy half. It all come from the short dropout, and it was short, way short from Sean Johnson. It doesn't go the 10 metres. They go to the centre of the field with a penalty. They just push it in once, and a nice pass from Reece Robson just gets his big front row, Cohen Hess, one-on-one with the fullback. And that is a planned play. It is not something that just happens. He put himself in that position. The dummy half made sure he got the ball at the right time. The fullback's got to defend in the front line, and they found him.
How did they get no support to Walsh, though, the Warriors? Just too good by the Cowboys, or did they mess something up themselves?
No, correct. There should have been a bit of closer defensive support for him there. The spacings are obviously too wide for him to get one-on-one and be able to spin out of it with no one else getting involved in the tackle. Was a little bit poor from the Warriors. But, you know, give credit to Reece Robson and give credit to Cohen Hess. Really smart play to put himself in the right position and get one-on-one with the fullback.
So the leading point scorer in the NRL wasn't given the opportunity to take the penalty shot. They were confident they could come up with a try, and now he'll look to add 2 more to make it a dream start here for the home team. 7.5 minutes in, it is 6-0 to the Cowboys.
Yeah, Speedy, that was great work by Reece Robson. Just that ruck identification to pinpoint Reece Walsh there and get his big man Cohen Hess, who, as we know, got a rocket this week from the coach, but has responded with a couple of great efforts. But Reece Robson, he's the heart and soul of this Cowboys side. Not only does he lead the kick chase and the line speed of this defensive line, his passing and skills around the dummy half are hugely underrated. He's been in sensational form.
Yeah, there's so many options for Mal Meninga to take to the World Cup that'll be live on Fox Sports with the Kangaroos, and he threw Reece Robson's name up in amongst the likes of Damien Cook and Harry Grant.
Yeah, and just listening to the players, the way they respond to everything that Reece does. You know, he touches the ball more than anyone on the field. He's so strong defensively, and, you know, especially over the last couple of years, his pass selection has been outstanding.
He made 50-odd tackles last week. He's 3rd in the overall list for tackles made this year.
Yeah.
And attacking-wise, the only dummy half with over 1,000 metres run from dummy half. And here he is firing it to Taumalolo. More work for Murchie defensively. Referee Chris Butler happy with what appeared a second effort, but here comes the set restart. So all the momentum with North Queensland. Got a 7-3 record here this year at home. Beaten by the Bulldogs here in round 1. It's been pretty impressive since then at home. Dearden now for Drinkwater chiming in. Really monstered by Vilea, the teenager, defending at right centre. Townsend showed it to Nana. Hiku will play it just inside the red zone. Still tackles up their sleeve and depth As they swing it from side to side, Taumalolo on to Dearden. Drinkwater, early service for Leilua. They create the overlap. How casual is Murray Taulagi? But Reece Walsh was no hope again. A celebration in the corner from the Cowboys. And Reece Walsh says, where's the help, boys?
Yeah, twice he's been left on his own to make some big tackles on his try line. But this is an outstanding team try from the Cowboys. They shift out to the far side of the field, everyone doing their job, and then they just come back through Townsend, through Taumalolo, and then it just goes through some nice hands. And that last pass to Tuolangi, that was hard. It was behind him. He just catches it with ease, and he knew all the time that he had too much strength and too much power for Reece Walsh to come across in the corner. He just pushes him out of the way, and that's a great try, a great team try, but some real power, some real skill, and some real speed.
Such confidence from the winger, just to bump the fullback away and then go right over the top of him to slam it down. Could have put it down a bit earlier than that, but it looked a lot more spectacular the way that Taulagi went about it for career try number 25, and it's 10-0 in a hurry.
Yeah, and that young man on screen, it just shows the confidence that he's got at the moment. He knows his ability, he knows his strength and speed, but he's just showed on that occasion his skill set as well. The ball was behind him, he was going at pace, but he just arrived at the ball on the right time, passed behind him, still gathered it in, scores a good try. Just on Valentine Holmes also, he's probably never at the Sharks a #1 goal kicker. They had some good ones there in James Maloney, and Chad Townsend was his kicker, but Chad, we see their career 77, but he's up to about 83% this year, kicking outstanding.
He hits them so sweetly, normally very straight. This time he got more hook than anticipated. So a rare miss in recent times for Valentine Holmes. Started with one winger, that dummy half, felt on one side and finished with the other. And Leilua just chimed in and played his role as well.
Yeah, I just get the feel with the Cowboys this year, and credit to the coach and his coaching staff, that everyone in this side knows their job. They know what they have to do to win a football game, and they don't go outside of their skill set and their job description. They just make sure that they do what the coach wants them to do and do what the team needs them to do. They've done a really good job.
And you were looking through how many games they've all played together, the continuity of this lineup as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. We've got 3 players that have played every game, and then a lot of the other players have played up around the 17, 18, 19, and the player with the least most games in the starting 17. I think it was Ruben Cotter, who 13, who obviously had that hamstring injury. It just shows the consistency of the team that Todd Payton's put out on the field week after week.
So slick the way they set up that last try. There's that run from Robson out of dummy half. He wanted to use Drinkwater, couldn't quite link up. Townsend looking down towards the wing of young Corsi, who did well under pressure from Felt. And they needed that. A penalty immediately after getting the ball back, after giving up those 10 points in quick succession.
Yeah, timely penalty for the Warriors. They just need some time in possession. At the moment, they've only had a couple of sets, and it's all been the Cowboys, but they get an opportunity now just to dominate some possession or get a block of possession if they can in good field position and get themselves into the game.
They have won 5 of the last 7 head-to-head, and 23 wins for them against the Cowboys is their most against any opponent. So normally they enjoy facing the Cowboys. They're behind in so many categories early on here, including all of those tackles made. Yes, Fanua Blake staying down here, and they'll just check out what went on in that tackle as he receives treatment. So that's Nanai coming in, third man in on the right knee area. What do you make of that?
Yeah, well, when he comes in, he's got to have contact. His first contact's got to be above the knee, and that's borderline, and it does force the knee sideways. So I think it'll be definitely a penalty and maybe placed on report.
I'm gonna put on report. Yeah. It's gonna be thanks. Yeah. Jeremiah. It's going to go on a report. It's just careless there, mate. You can't attack the knee like that.
Good explanation from Chris Butler, and he's got some worry potentially to see what they all make of that match review committee style.
Yeah, I think he described it perfectly. It was just careless. There wasn't a lot of force in it, but you know, you can't do that, and it was just definitely careless.
So now, field position for the Warriors to try and hit back. Tiafoa, who turns 26 tomorrow, getting them inside that 30-metre line. Camilla Blake has recovered okay. Strength to stand in the tackle right throughout to play it inside the 20. Tohu Harris out the back, quick hands. There was real pressure on that pass, and he's felt the full effect. Dejan Arce got nailed by a former teammate, and he's really sucking in the big ones in back play. Reece Walsh did well to hold on to that pass. Johnson under similar pressure did, and right up in his face. So Johnson out of play as they get to the last for a short side for Walsh to drop it towards Taulagi, and they try and force him back into the in goal, but he's such a solid unit out there on the left wing.
Yeah, it was a pretty average set from the Warriors, but credit to the Cowboys' defensive systems and structures. If you play early out the back, the Cowboys would jam on you, and both occasions over on the left and then over on the right, they just jammed out the back and stopped the play.
Great late offload, and Robson was trying to do the same, so the Warriors scrambled and forced the error out of Robson, who saw a potential breakaway try brewing on that left-hand side. Bit of work there by Luciano Leilua, and Tani Zalesniak plays it. He was found guilty of a crusher during the week, Luciano Leilua, but avoided suspension. And that was borderline potentially. Eyes of forward go unheeded. Egan faked right, went left. Arcee's recovered from that hit moments ago. It might have been Nanai that got to him. And as we go past the 15-minute mark here in Townsville, the crowd stand for the man who delivered that 2015 Premiership, Paul Green. Wonderful scenes here in Townsville, remembering their Premiership winning coach. Montoya forced it back inside. Aitken couldn't hold on. And the Cowboys able to hold and defend their line as that applause rung around the Queensland Country Bank Stadium for Paul Green.
Yeah, special moment. As the Cowboys get another penalty coming out of their end. Just the Warriors on that last set. It was sort of play for play, and the whole team weren't on the same page, where up the other end of the field, the Cowboys, everyone on the same page, everyone knowing their role in every play of the ball, in every type of field position. That's the difference at the moment. A well-structured team offensively, and defensively, they just turned them away then, the Cowboys. Some really good stuff.
And Brent Tate, that was driven by the fans. Pretty special moment, that, remembering Greenie.
Yeah, very emotional night up here at Queensland Country Bank Stadium. Paul Green, such a huge figure up here, obviously, with that 2015 Premiership, and condolences to him and his beautiful family. He's very well respected up here, and he'll be sorely missed.
Robson for McLean. Again, Murchie looking for support from a teammate. Eventually, Egan is the second man in on the tackle. Short side here, brewing for Dearden. Leilua. Great one-on-one tackle. Viliami Vailea. Doesn't the teenager pack a punch? More work here for the Warriors, though, as Dearden will play it a couple of metres out, and Townsend directing traffic. Great service from Robson. Drinkwater, dangerous. Nanai flicked it out to Feltz, who had a little peek to see what he might be able to do against Corsi, and couldn't hold on.
Yeah, sloppy finish to that set from the Cowboys. They shift over to this right-hand side. Drinkwater nearly tries to get his man on the outside, but the Warriors come up some really good defence and he forces a pass in the end. But credit to the Warriors, some really good edge defence.
Montoya, 4th week in a row for him in the centres, but still a handy weapon in plays 1 and 2. Mistake in the play the ball. And get around to console Ed Corsi, talking this week about how much he learnt going back to play for the Redcliffe Dolphins after having a horror night against the Storm when they lost 70 points to 10. He's been on a try-scoring streak in recent times, 7 in his last 4 games, but the mistake here as we get down to Tatey.
Yeah, one of the big things I can see at ground level here is how fast the Cowboys' defence is moving compared to that of the Warriors. Each one of them are getting off the line quickly, led by Reece Robson, but even their movements on the edges a lot more quicker, a lot more certain around what they're doing. And that's been a big turnaround in the Cowboys in 2022.
HIA, Wade Egan departs. Capable of playing big minutes, but we won't see him for the next 15 at least, as Freddie Lussick comes on, who played 16 minutes last week. Off the back of the centre field scrum, the Cowboys go to work again, and an offload around the corner. Taulagi would have been in untouched. So the penalty comes back for what Murchie was doing in the scrum here.
Sounds like the signal that the referee gave that he broke early or wasn't connected to the scrum.
2 points.
Often in scrums, it's a differential penalty. You can't go for goal, but Chris Butler was letting them know you can take the shot for 2 in this situation.
Yeah, good refereeing. Some of the boys would have thought straight away it was a differential, kick it to touch and get on with it. I'll take the Valentine Holmes, will take the 2 points. Interesting what Brent Tate was talking about the Cowboys' defensive line. We noticed it earlier. Not only are they moving, he feels that they're moving fast on the edges, they move fast together. And there's one of the things that they learned off the Roosters last week is how quickly the game was. It was at the cricket ground on a fast track, and how fast the Roosters moved defensively and offensively. And tonight, it's definitely, you can see the way the Cowboys are moving, not as individuals, but as groups, left edge, right edge, and their middle all going together.
Have you seen a second rower get further away from the scrum than Murchie just did?
I thought he was playing 5'8".
We have been seeing it in recent times, including last week in the Cowboys game, about holding on in the scrum, opening up a channel, and Murchie wasn't letting that happen on that occasion and paid the price as Holmes does make it 2 converted tries the difference. 12-0, the Cowboys on top.
Really important times now for the Warriors. They need to make sure that they can kick this ball down and they don't give him a piggyback out. Don't give him a penalty out of their end. Make him kick out and get themselves into their game. Their strength is their forward pack, but you take all the petrol out of your middle forwards if you're defending all the time. And at the moment, they've only had 41% of the ball. It's just too much of a difference. And it takes so much petrol out of those middle forwards. They're inactive, not as good when they get the football. They're tired and fatigued.
Stacey Jones, a 2-6 record. Looked a little anxious up there in the coach's box. Great to see Matt Scott watching on as well. Premiership winning co-captain in 2015. Leilua looking for a quick play the ball. Robson's pass a little behind McLean. He did well to hold on. Had time to pirouette before the defensive line got to him. Taumalolo. Now Drinkwater kicking on play 5, and it's set up nicely for Watene Zelezniak, who then ran behind Walsh, and the referee saw him give himself up, and that avoided a penalty.
Yeah, smart play. Drinkwater ran straight into him to make sure the referee knew that he was obstructed and couldn't get into the tackle.
Oh! Big contact, Reece Robson. Montoya went nowhere. The crowd reaction to that jolting tackle. Oof. Terrific contact from the number 9.
Yeah, we just saw he set the first try up for the Cowboys, and he just shows there what a powerhouse he is. He comes up with a beautiful tackle above the football. That was a bone rattler.
Safe take from Drinkwater as that one was spiralling down. 19 try assists this year for Drinkwater. Just third on the list behind Moses and Reynolds. Played his part earlier in that lovely shift to the left-hand side. Saw Taulagi score. Sloppy looking play the ball. And the referee has pinged the Cowboys, and the Warriors get the kind of field position thereafter.
20.
Yeah, it's a basic skill, but so often, even at this level, the attention to detail to play the football and make sure you have a good attempt to strike the ball. And in the modern game, that'll get you every time. It went forward before it went backwards.
Look out, the Warriors, because Reuben Cotter's just stretching out, ready to get out there again. And we've talked about the tempo already in this one. It goes up a notch when this guy comes on.
Yeah, Speedy, it definitely does. I was talking to my young bloke Kyle, when he played for the Bulldogs against the Cowboys, and he said definitely when Reuben Cotter came on, he could feel the tempo, especially when they had good field position. The tempo and the speed of the game just changed. He changed it, but then all the Cowboys jumped on his back and just pushed really hard. It was so hard to defend against them.
I'll watch that when he comes on in a few moments' time. Fanua Blake had the arm free. He bulldozed over the top of Robson. Teammates a little late getting there and probably entitled to a repeat set that he asked for. Murchie under pressure from Dearden. How good has his defensive work been? But Murchie perhaps claiming that the first contact was a little high here.
I hope he doesn't hit him too high, because this is an outstanding tackle from a young half. Just comes off his line, outside in, on a bigger man, a big back rower, and just hits him beautifully, and it's a good tackle.
We'll check on him in a moment, HIA-wise. Jack Murchie. Fanua Blake, second hit up on this set. Plays at 5 out on the last. Johnson, lovely weight on the kick, but no real chasers. And it goes dead comfortably in the end.
Yeah, exactly right. The chasers were back expecting the pass on it, whether they weren't aware that it was last tackle, but it was poor from the Warriors. No real long, fast chase on that kick, and the ball goes long over the dead ball line.
Has forced 23 dropouts this year, Sean Johnson. Equal most in the comp. And there is Reuben Cotter. Looking for that quick play of the ball, and the tempo rises as predicted on Fox League. Dearden, cut out ball. Holmes forced a pass that went forward and now scooped up by Vilea. Just chancing their arm out there. Confidence levels high for the Cowboys, but no dice that time.
Yeah, they don't get it right on that occasion, but there's definitely some opportunities down that left-hand side for the Cowboys. They've gone there a couple of times. They got one try. They went there again that time. They didn't get it right, but they'll go back there again.
We saw Curran coming on, and the number 17 jumper was a regular starter at the beginning of the campaign, but makes a difference off the bench now as he has to wait for that pass.
Yeah, and maybe it's, you know, he has done it for a couple of weeks, but it's definitely, obviously, when Reuben Cotter comes on, he wasn't too far behind him.
Part of the team talk, perhaps letting into this one for Stacey Jones to have Curran ready to go. Try and contain Cotter. Oof. Almost a shoulder charge. Murchie is copping some treatment at the moment, as Holmes knocked him over that time. Johnson goes crossfield. Walsh didn't look at the ball, but his teammate did, and brought down by Montoya. Somehow, they've held him up, have they?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they've gone underneath him. There's a beautiful catch. He gets up above him. Not really contested by the Cowboys as such. Or he gets past Kyle Feld, he misses it, and then he goes for the line. Chad Townsend gets there early, and then the troops come. Sometimes saving a try is more important than scoring a try. And definitely when you're up at the top of the table, the more you save, the better you're going to be at the end of the season.
And the only 2 tries of the game have come when Reece Walsh was no hope against bigger men. And it's been a trademark of the Cowboys this year, the amount of times they've got 2 or 3 men around the ball to save tries in that kind of situation.
Well, those type of situations, I'm sure Todd Payton and Dean Young will be showing first their video on Monday. They'll be one of the things. How many people we had in the frame when it was really important and we needed to save a try.
Potter, they love him here, don't they? Every time he gets the ball, the fans get excited about what could potentially come off the back of it. Hung up by Townsend and batted back in by Feltz. It's okay for Nanai, who picks up Dearden, and they'll check it all out, but there's not going to be much to take this one away, I don't think. It's another Cowboys try.
No try. I believe the baton goes forward from the Cowboys.
So it's not a forward pass. You can rule on the knock-on kind of situation here.
Yeah, we just said, you know, the Cowboys saved one down the other end. As we have a look at this bat back.
There's a clean run to the ball.
Caught near enough.
Felt bats the ball forward, which is a knock-on. We have a decision.
Yeah. He had a great view of it himself, Chris Puntler, but he sent it up to dot the I's and cross the T's with Casey Badger in the bunker, and the try doesn't stand, but probably could have said it himself, couldn't he? He was right in line.
Yeah, well, he had the opportunity to throw it to the bunker, and we probably would have gone there anyway. He was in outstanding position, but that's a risk you pay if you don't contest that catch, which the Warriors didn't. But as soon as, obviously, he batted it back, you need to have people around the ball. Down the other end of the field, the Cowboys had people around where the football was, and they saved a try. On that occasion there, they nearly cost themselves a try. There were not enough people around the football.
And hoping the ball would land and then go into touch. Felt was good enough to knock it back, but knocked it forward. Yeah. Noah Brown getting involved in that tackle after coming on in the number 18 jumper. He was the late in when Tom Gilbert was ruled out in the last 24 hours for family reasons. Noah Blake again looking like a dangerous option for the Warriors if they can get around him for the offload. Able to get that arm free. Johnson down towards Taulagi. Made the late adjustment to take it safely on the chest.
And you're 100% right. He does look dangerous for Noah Blake every time he carries the ball. He just doesn't have enough opportunities, or his team hasn't had enough opportunities, either from errors or penalties.
Taumalolo, 57 metres run in his first stint. 10 tackles made as well. Last 12 minutes of the first half, and the Cowboys enjoying this 12-0 lead. Griffin Neem just on for Taumalolo. What a purple patch he's enjoying as well, just growing in stature. He looks like he's still growing literally week in, week out, doesn't he? He's a big unit as Drinkwater. Hangs it up on that left boot by Tenny Zalesniak. Set himself nicely, but Griffin Neem's catching the eye.
Yeah, he definitely is. I just wonder how he goes in that with that fair skin, that North Queensland sun.
Might be trading in the cap and the zinc cream during the day. Gets involved in this tackle, the New Zealand international. Hopefully being part of that World Cup squad, and the form he's in. Be a no-brainer for the Kiwis to take into England. Plenty going on in the ruck.
You're not getting a quick play the ball. Back here.
The ref letting Montoya know who's boss. Aitken being very quiet so far. Third hit up for him. Taulagi called into it. They've been kicking to him more often than not.
You spoke about Taumalolo last week v the Roosters had probably a bit of a quiet game. Is that more the Roosters, their intent and their defensive structures and line speed and the way they played their game? I'm sure Taumalolo would have been on their number one on their tip sheet. We need to keep their big meter eater quiet.
They made the Cowboys make a lot of tackles, had them on the back foot throughout. Here's Leilua getting his team on the front foot now. Robson. Harris was hunting the footy. And a few teammates got involved, so Robson to play it on the last. Drinkwater from dummy half. Little grubber in behind and gets a repeat set out of it. He's a quick thinker, isn't he? Playing what's in front of him.
Yeah, exactly. He just felt there was a little bit of space around the A and the B defender, the 1 and 2 defender off to play the ball. He jumps out of dummy half. He's too fast for the markers and can go deep into the line and puts a kick in. And Walsh gets across and knocks it over the dead ball line. But an outstanding play. Took him on, made him turn, made him chase, and gets a 6 again.
Has scored in his last 3 games against this opposition. No thoughts of a short dropout this time. Brown brings it back 25 metres out. A lot of clubs have been going with that short dropout more often than not lately.
Yeah, well, maybe, you know, obviously the Warriors learn from their mistake and they're not 100% sure that they've nailed it. And, you know, kick it long, kick it deep and back your defence.
Townsend. Oh, Griffin Neame, who's been scoring tries with that kind of service in recent weeks. Cut down this time. To Noah Brown off the back of it. Had Cotter right alongside. Couldn't hit and spin and find him. Drinkwater kicking early, looks heavy and well assessed by Corsi. They'll get a 7-tackle set.
Yeah, whilst he got the last kick right, he didn't get this one right. Just puts too much on it. Even his wingers didn't chase real hard on it. It was just too hard off the boot. The Warriors come out to the 20-metre line with a 7-tackle set.
Good news for the Warriors. Wade Egan has passed his HIA. Ready to get back out there.
And it is good news. He's been one of their best players all year. He's been so consistent. He's dangerous out of dummy half. His game has developed this year as a genuine number 9. And as I said, he's just dangerous out of dummy half. Good service. They need him out there.
And the backup dummy half. Lussick just barked to the referee and got a set restart for his team and now departs. Egan back on as Marcy slots into dummy half there. Egan ready to provide the service again. Aiken taken down by Townsend. Warriors setting up for a play back to the right now. Johnson demanding it. Had one teammate going through for a kick perhaps. That was Walsh flying through. Now Arcee floating it out towards Corsi, felt out of position, knocked on, and now a try, I reckon. Montoya tidies up after Drinkwater tried the little kick, and this will be a try.
Yeah, I think you're right. We saw at the other end the Warriors not jumping for a kick, and the Cowboys nearly coming up with a try, but the baton went forward. On this occasion, they go to the corner off a pretty a mundane set. They go to the corner on tackle 5. A really good kick, lands right on the try line. He bats it back. Drinkwater probably could have done a little bit better there on diving on that loose ball. He just has a pot shot at it. And then they push through, and it's a really good grounding and a bit of patience. Ricochets off his feet, and he gets a try. I just feel on this occasion, the Cowboys, especially in Drinkwater, needs to get on that ball, a little bit more attention to detail. I feel that he was trying to go the length of the field, catch the ball and score a try, take the safety first option and stop the try first.
So great work by Ed Corsi, turning provider this time. They're checking the offside potentially against Montoya.
It's just under review. What we're looking for is that Marcelo's outside the 10 metres once the initial touch happens.
You've got a tape measure to put up on the replay here, because if he's in front of the kick.
Marcelo Montoya is in front of the kicker at this stage. We just need to monitor his run.
So now he needs to stay out 10 metres away from when the other Warriors player touches the football.
And that hash mark indicates 10 metres, doesn't it? So he's well inside 10.
At the moment Edward Cozy touches the ball, Marcelo Montoya is outside 10 metres. He is now placed back onside.
Well, this will be okay then.
At this point.
Is that 10 metres?
I don't think it is 10 metres, to be honest. Yeah. But I think, to be fair, he's passive. I know we go, how can he be passively offside? By the letter of the law, he's inside the 10.
Drinkwater knocks on in the field of play. We're playing on at this point. and Marcelo Montoya grounds the ball. We have a decision.
So what we've ruled is that he's offside, but then at the point where he touches the ball, Marcelo's then outside 10 metres. So he's then placed on the side.
It's unlike Chad not have something to say.
Stunned silence.
It was interesting, and as you said, Speedy, we have a look at that junction on the 10-metre line, that he was inside that 10 by 10 metre box. As we see it there, I feel that he was inside that box when the ball was touched by his Warriors teammate. Did he play any part in the knock-on from Drinkwater? I'm not quite sure. I think he was in close enough to change Drinkwater's approach to attacking the football. If he wasn't there, Drinkwater might have had a different approach to it.
Absolutely. But Casey Badger cleared him from the back, so she said Montoya was fine.
From that point, he's onside.
He was outside 10 metres from where the ball is. That'll be debated a little as Reece Walsh looks to slot the two and can't quite bend it back enough, but they're back in the ball game.
And it just shows you the value of completing your set. So it wasn't a fancy set, or what didn't strip the Cowboys for numbers and didn't cause them too many problems, but they completed their set, they put them under try-line pressure, and then they put a kick into the corner and made it a contest. And you're going to win some of those.
The VB hard-earned index topped by Aden Fanua-Blake, who's no stranger to be top of the charts. Getting a well-earned rest after those numbers early on. Cowboys muscling up here, and Tohu Harris played it inside the 10. Great work. Markers weren't square from Wade Egan. Great awareness to pick up nearly 15 metres on that play. Fresh legs off the back of it. Eli Katoa, the Melbourne Storm back rower in the next couple of years after this. Could be a very shrewd pickup from Bellamy and co. Marcy trying to get that torpedo spiral going. It's floating its way to Drinkwater, and that time safety first approach. I wasn't thinking about going 80 metres this time.
Yeah, the Warriors attack, we saw Aden Fanua-Blake leave the field. At the moment, it's just a little bit too much one out. Last week against the Bulldogs, they attacked in numbers, 2s and 3s, and caused them a lot of trouble and got some quick play balls. Just at the moment, it's all one out and not causing a lot of trouble to the Cowboys' defensive line.
Not much doing on that play for Phelps. Now Cotter off the back of it, taken down by Murchie. Curran slowing down the process. Townsend down towards Walsh. Oh, he had a little look as well. And in the final minutes here before half-time, the door opens again for the Cowboys.
Yeah, really important time now if the Warriors are going to be any chance in this football game that they turn them away and don't leak points. 3.5 minutes to go. He comes up with an error. It was a pretty good kick from Chad Townsend and moved a fair bit in the air, but he had a fair shot at it. Probably didn't get underneath it early. He was still running when he attempted to catch the football.
Jack, you're on report for a hip drop earlier in the set.
So that's Jack Murchie.
Jack's on report for a hip drop. We're going to have a scrum here.
I mentioned that one-on-one tackle he made before Curran got involved. That might have been the one that's caught the eye of the bunker.
It's interesting, if Walsh doesn't drop the football, Warriors go on attack and then the game goes on, and Murchie's put on report at what point that the Cowboys want the penalty. Do the Cowboys go back and get the penalty if it's 2 or 3 minutes down track?
Here they go off the centre field scrum, and set restart there as they jumped the gun, but they did what they needed to and contained Dearden. Now they jump the gun again. Cotter, he did well to avoid the potential that a hip drop can cause injury, of course. That's why it's being stamped out of the game. And he kept his legs out of position. Now, Jeremiah Nanai, another try, 17 for the season now. That matches what David Fifita did as an edge back rower last year in the NRL. This young man is enjoying a breakout season, setting all kinds of records the way he's going.
Yes, Betty, you talk about it. They set too many on that far side, the Warriors. They just go to the line and hit this try-scoring machine. He's good in the air, but he can also hit an outline there. He got one-on-one, and he pulls through that tackle. It's just too hard to handle on an outside shoulder. Once again, good work from Reece Robson. Gets out far enough just to commit. Chad Townsend gives it to him nice and early. He goes to the outside shoulder, too powerful, and he can find the way to the try line. As I said, through the air, but also running it over as he does on this occasion.
Knew where the camera was too. And you work in recruitment for the Dragons, so take us inside how negotiations will unfold for the Cowboys and other clubs, because Jeremiah Nanai signed a one-year contract extension with the Cowboys this year. That's for next season. So from November 1, he can talk to all other clubs and negotiate. But what about now? Can other clubs talk to his representatives?
Well, not really. They can express to his manager or to his agent, you know, their expression of interest when he becomes available on the 1st of November. You know, we don't want to get into clubs, you know, you've still got another 12 months at the Cowboys, especially, you know, I think there's a mutual agreement when sides are in semi-finals not to, you know, to start to poking around and see if players can come out. But definitely you can express that interest and you can start negotiations November 1.
Holmes nails it this time. And that mistake from Reece Walsh is turned into 6 points for the Cowboys.
How outstanding has this young man been in 2022? I think at the start of the season he was scoring a lot of his tries off the kicks, but it's now off his running game and his ability to be able to change direction when the ball's been passed. There'll be every single club in the NRL will want his signature. He's just been outstanding, and what a find for the Cowboys he's been.
And we were informed by the club this week that there was a slight alteration to his pronunciation. We hope we're getting it right. We'll do our best to get it right. We've probably been saying a lot of Nanai, and he told us this week that it's more Nanai. So we'll try and get that right for you if you're sensing a little change in the way we've commentated his name tonight. And we do try to do that on Fox League, of course, for everyone across the competition.
We'll be calling his name a lot for a long time. He's going to score a lot more tries and he's going to be around for a long period of time. He's a super player. He's going to play rep football, you know, and maybe he plays in some big semi-finals at the end of the year.
Headed out his way again. This time Drinkwater held on. Either way, he's going to sign a very lucrative contract, you'd reckon, next time around.
And yes, we would like him at the Dragons.
Breaking news, headline news. Drinkwater. Oh, no looker for Holmes. Their support inside. Brilliant. The North Queensland Cowboys hitting back big time at home with one of the team tries of the year. Scott Drinkwater, he's freakish.
Well, we said from a kick start, they scored on the right-hand side through Nanai, and then they just go from the kick-off. They take 2 plays into them, and they're powerful in speed and understanding of each other. Chad Townsend again, just going on a little shift play to Dearden, goes out the back, and as you said, Drinkwater, he's got it on a string. He knew where Valentine Holmes was, and then they come back up, and they're queuing up to score. There's heaps of support around him, and that's an outstanding set after points. Tackle 2, go for a little shift, push through, support each other, get people in the frame, skill, speed and power, that they had it all.
73 games as a Warrior between 2018 and 2021, and now every game this year for the Cowboys for Peta Hiku, who's on the end of superb teamwork. They wanted to try and get back to that early season form here tonight, and 22-4 up with a kick to come after the siren here. It's been mighty impressive.
We said last time they shifted over to the left-hand side and they just didn't get it right. The ball went to ground, and that's a sign of a really good football team, to learn from your mistakes. They go there the next time, they get it right, they score an outstanding team try.
It's been a domination from North Queensland here at home tonight. They lead 24-4 at halftime.
But now that's all gone quiet. He's been outstanding. He's got this team around the park exactly what they needed. The coach knew what his football team needed. He had, an unhappy year the year before, and he went and got Chad, and he's fitted in just perfect up there at the moment.
Noah Brown, a former Warrior. Played 32 games for them across the 20 and 21 seasons. Lua just making every post a winner since his mid-season switch from the West Tigers. There's Neen. Their bench so strong each and every week for North Queensland, and there they are. A couple of the interchange forwards on back-to-back plays. First Neem and then Cotter. And now Drinkwater going to work on play 5. Ominous signs they're able to get a relatively attacking kick away from Townsend. Walsh takes it on and got nowhere near it. And it's another set restart as Felt tidies up and stays just in the field of play. Need to set them up. Finish the first half in spectacular fashion. Now looking to start the second 40 with another try. Dearden. Gap opening up, and he'll find it if it's there. Tommy Dearden. 15th try of his career. The 21-year-old having a dream year that saw him become an Origin hero in Game 3 for Queensland. And now he's dreaming of what he might do in September/October with the Cowboys.
Yeah, it all came from the poor error from the set-in. They couldn't defuse the bomb, the Warriors. It wasn't that hard to take. Gives the Cowboys real field position, and this young man, he's been one of the players of the season. He came from the Broncos. He's come up here, and he's just obviously played Origin this year, and his form has been outstanding. He smells half a gap. He pushes through it, really powerful, pulls out of the tackle. That's a smart halves try. But once again, the Cowboys, a really good set from the kickoff. Everyone did their job. They got up to about the 50-metre line. They put the ball high. They contested the kick. They get possession. And if you value possession, these type of things happen. Tommy did, and what a great season. And I'm sure there's more highlights to come.
Throwing the dummy. He knew the gap was there, and when he saw Johnson just take a little bite at it, he said, I'm having that.
Well, they're little things that change games. Sean Johnson's pushed up too hard on the outside of his edge back rower, and Tommy Dearden sensed that he'd have trouble getting back and filling that space, so he just took the space. Really smart play, and he's a strong ball runner as well.
It's the one miss so far tonight for Valentine Holmes, and he slots this one over. Really ominous the way things are getting away from the Warriors now, Brent Tate.
Yeah, absolutely. And Todd Payton will be absolutely ecstatic with that start, because he loved the energy and effort at the start of the game when he challenged his team. And he told them the challenge now was to start fast, and he just wanted them to play simple, run hard, generate ruck speed, and the points will come, as we've just seen there through Tommy Dearden. And Stacey Jones, well, he just thought if they could get some possession, the Cowboys tied through the middle at the back end of that half. He just wants to get them back, sticking to the plan. But great start from the North Queensland Cowboys.
Any hope of the minor premiership went last night. Penrith, congratulations to them, but top 2 so important for North Queensland. And they look to go 2 points clear of Cronulla, who play later on this weekend as well. And Melbourne, of course, playing later on tonight. Second game of our double-header against the Broncos. They're another top 2 contender. Not just top 4 we're talking about. Top 2 so important. You host the final week 1, you hopefully win that, and then you're a chance to get to the grand final and avoid Penrith potentially as well.
Yeah, well, come semi-final time, it all starts again. You don't worry where you finish. You know you've got a couple of games to get to the grand final, and you just focus on them. You don't worry about, oh, we finished 5th, 6th or 7th. We're finished, and this is a new competition, and that's what all these sides that make the top 8, they'll just be focusing on what's next. The competition's over. It's a new competition now. Play your best footy and you give yourself a chance.
And the Cowboys, they finish off with some tough matchups. The Rabbitohs away at Accor Stadium, and then the Panthers here at home. And there'll be talk about Penrith resting players now that they've wrapped up the minor premiership. But you think final round, against North Queensland, Cleary will look for his best unit, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure about Nathan being available for that game. I think he's still suspended.
Yeah,
So he won't be back for round 1. But I wouldn't think that Ivan would want to rest too many players in his last game. He'd like to give him a bit of a trot out there and get some form under their belt and be confident going into that first semi. But he might think different. But it's really it's a tough one to balance. When do you rest players and when do you try and get them all together ready to play that first semi-final?
It will whet the appetite for what's to come in the finals the week after that, when the Cowboys face Penrith here. And then they'll probably hope that they avoid one another until grand final day, as Tohu Harris watches on.
And Speedy, you'd be surprised how many players will not want to rest. They're in a bit of rhythm. And especially some of those Penrith players, they'll want to keep that rhythm. The only thing they'll have in the back of their mind is injury and suspension.
And the coaches monitoring the body, the wear and tear, the GPS data to say whether the player needs a rest if they're not necessarily being told.
Yeah, they definitely will. All that comes into training. A lot of the hard work, they'd be in a hard work phase. The Penriths and so on be in a hard work phase now, and then they'll taper off to tail end of the year, be ready to rumble come semi-final time.
Here they come again, floated out by Dearden, and Holmes played it so well for Taulagi. This time Walsh did enough to hold him up in company with Fanua Blake. But they're creating so many overlaps. North Queensland now Drinkwater looking for the uprights. It's alive, batted away by Walsh, and drop out.
First from the Warriors, then knock on by Cowboys. So go
No, there was a little touch by North Queensland, so they'll get a 20-metre tap instead.
Yeah, it was a nice shift down that left edge again. They've just got, every time they've gone down there, they've got some joy. They just pull them up short, and it's a nice kick. I think you're right. I think he was aiming for that crossbar, that black dot. He comes up a little bit short, and they come up with a knock on.
Knock on both ways was the call. Beautiful depth on the short dropout, but North Queensland diffused that situation. The grimace from Holmes as he's taken down inside the 10. Dearden, confidence levels high in try-scoring form, trying to squeeze through that hole. Mean the decoy for Cotter to go to work. He can't escape the clutches of Katoa. Drinkwater. Hiku. Oh, high tackle. And that's what leads to the whistle. The lazy arm from Montoya. Someone said send him off, sir, but there wasn't a whole lot in it apart from the high tackle against Montoya. The Cowboys can start again for win number 16 of the year. Best ever regular season, 17-7 when they went on to win the minor premiership. They can eclipse that if they win the final 3. Townsend for Leilua, bumping his way through. Johnson didn't stand a chance. All hail Luciano Leilua, trying to get this place pumping.
Well, his football team's pumping, I know that much. They're just running at will now. When they get down into good field position, they're just pushing the Warriors players out of the way. And on this occasion, Leilua, they get a penalty from the other side of the field from a high tackle, and then they just shift out to this edge. Here's the high tackle as we see it. Wasn't a lot in it, but just clipped him a little bit high. They take the penalty tap. They shift straight over to the other side, and it's just a one-on-one tackle. Get out of the way, Sean Johnson, and he just pushes his way through. What an acquisition he's been to this Cowboys side at the back end of the year.
See you later. Sean Johnson had 2 cracks to get rid of him. And Vailea's done some nice things defensively, but he didn't stand a chance of stopping Luciano Leilua.
And to go deep into the semi-finals, and even if you're going to win a grand final, you need to have strike all over your football field. And this player gives him another point of attack. He's definitely a strike player, but he can, we see on that occasion, just brute strength, scores the try. He's got a pre-line pass, and he's definitely got a post-line pass or in-the-line pass. So he's a valuable player, and defensively he's sound as well. So you need those type of players, and the Cowboys have got, like we saw, Nanai on the other side. They've got Drinkwater, they've got Strike right through their football team.
Racking up the points tonight, North Queensland, and allowing Valentine Holmes to get to the 200-point barrier if he can slot this one. And 200 points for Valentine Holmes in 2022, and plenty more to come.
Yeah, just on Luciano Leilua, he's been an outstanding pickup for the Cowboys, especially through that origin period. At times when the Cowboys have looked a little bit tired, he has really brought some energy, and yeah, he's been an outstanding pickup for them. And that man, Val Holmes, slotting it, going over for 200 points. He's been perfect with the boot all season.
Yeah, just the third Cowboy to reach 200 points in a season after Jonathan Thurston did it 4 times, JT. And Josh Hannay did it a couple of times as well.
Yeah, 30 minutes to go. Really important for the Warriors that they just hold themselves together and just not leak points set after set. A long way to go.
Speedy, the hammer has also come on for Peter Hiku, so look, we'll see a bit of the hammer out in the field tonight, which will be good for him, getting some time. He's been on the bench for the last few weeks, so gets a good 20 or 30 odd minutes out here now.
So Hiku just leaving for just a rest. Nothing untoward there, no injury to worry about.
No, absolutely not, just to change and give him some football.
Out there at right centre, the hammer ready to get involved. Neem running with purpose. At the other side, the arm was free, but no one looming on the shoulder of Robson. Walsh goes up again and makes sure of this take, but again, the chase so good, and they get him on the back foot as the hammer comes up with his first tackle.
As a coach for Todd Payton, there's not a lot of time, especially in the NRL, that you can sit up in that coach's box and just enjoy it for a long period of time. He's got 29 minutes here. His side's done an outstanding job to date, and all year after a couple of big weeks with the Paul Green. Really emotional time today for the Cowboys, but he can sit up there, just watch his footy team and enjoy it.
Curran with some much needed go forward. Saw how shattered he was on the replay when they coughed up that last try, and now he's coughed up possession according to the referee. Captain's challenge available.
Charge him.
Wasn't the most convincing argument put up by Josh Curran, but they will back him in here.
Challenge. Your decision is a knock-on.
Such a powerful, strong run. Felt like he was entitled to a quick play of the ball and tried to play it on top of Nanai.
Looking to determine if Josh Curran has lost possession of the ball. We need to see if Josh Curran has a grip on the ball when he places it on Jeremiah Nanai in the ruck.
Looks like he's maintained it.
I think that's fine. I think he's just tried to milk a penalty on first occasion, knew he wasn't going to get one.
Josh Curran places the ball on a player in the ruck, and this is the reason why he hasn't dropped it. This constitutes a knock-on. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Casey Badger ruling against the Warriors.
Well, Casey, I think you got it wrong there.
You can't just put the ball on top of him.
What do you mean? I'm trying to get fast play the ball. I just hit the ruck.
Well, step back and play the ball. Like, there's going to be players there. He's
You've got a feel for Josh Curran. It happened to him last week as he tried to explain there, but he put in an expletive, and Chris Butler had enough. So not just the handover of possession, but the penalty as well for dissent. And the frustration obvious for the Warriors and Josh Curran.
Well, the player making the tackle has got to clear the ruck as well. He's got an obligation to get out of that area that he's got to play the ball, and he clearly didn't, so I'm with Josh Curran.
Neem lowering the shoulder. Real depth on this left-hand side, plenty of options. Townsend will find Dearden, and here comes the runner in Drinkwater. Holmes trying to crash his way over, and the ball comes loose in the end. They just ran out of real estate, it appeared.
Have no try. Just want to confirm Bell doesn't get it to the line, and then if he doesn't, that it's not stripped by the Warriors in the act of scoring and then goes out.
Bit to look at here for Casey Badger in the bunker.
That's a powerful run from Val. I think he gets turned over on his back.
Looking to determine if Valentine Holmes maintains possession.
Has that been ripped out by Vilea?
The ball comes out. We're just looking to determine if the Warriors player has stripped the ball in the act of scoring. Just looking at all possible angles.
Had a reef at it, didn't he, Vilea? But
yeah, it's this last action. Val goes to put the ball down, and Vale's got his hands all over it, and I think he pulls it out.
It is a loose carry over the goal line. We have a decision.
Loose carry, guys.
yeah, so rather than ripped out backwards for a line dropout against Vilea and the Warriors, instead it's a loose carry against Holmes, and 7 tackle set, 20-metre restart for the Warriors.
I'm none from 3 tonight.
Not the only one. Aitken driven back. Look at the intensity from Ruben Cotter with his team. 32 points up here. Aitken doesn't have a whole lot of room to move there either. Just 5 metres on that play. McLean ready to get back out there for his second stint. And Curran will be sure of his play the ball here, you'd imagine. He's bent awkwardly there, Josh Curran, and he's stretching out his back in back play. It's the wear and tear of a rugby league season, what these players put their bodies through. He's right to go again. Johnson for 3 chases out here, and Wateni Zalesniak, oh, he had a kick at that, nearly took Taulungi's head off. Kiliami Vilea, and Taulungi would have shaked that one off. And they copped a boot in the mush.
Speedy, I think if you go back in time over the last 5 to 10 years of grand final winners, you'll find that they've finished number 1 or number 2 defensively. And as it stands at the moment, the Cowboys are up there in all of those stats. Tries conceded, tackles made, tackles missed. They're so positive, and they're about number 2 defensively in most stats. A really good effort, and I'm sure Todd Payton will want them to finish this game the way they've held themselves most of the season defensively.
Go back there, tackle 5.
It's a good effort here by the Warriors defensively. Chance to potentially put pressure on the kick, but Townsend just strolled his way up and got it inside the 20. Wateni Zalesniak hasn't had a whole lot of room to move. Now looking to utilise some space. And Holmes tripped him up from behind, but they're pushing the pass now, the Warriors. Back to Murchie. Got the worst defensive record in the comp coming into today, averaging 27 points conceded. You speak about defence for the Cowboys, top 2 in that category, but the Warriors 16th in points per game conceded, and that average blowing out tonight, but they get a set restart here. There's a Fanua Blake offload, and just after the set restart, they cough it up, and the Cowboys tried to utilise the advantage. It will remain their ball.
Yeah, and we have a look at this set. It just gets pushed along the line, and it wasn't passing to a person in a better position, which is one of the golden rules offensively. They just passed it for the sake of passing it, and they give it to their big middle forward, and he tries an offload, and unfortunately Reece Walsh wasn't ready for it, but they didn't go forward first and create a fast play the ball or dominate the play the ball.
The magic of the Premiership is that it's real. From the athletes who play it to the fans who love it, 16 teams chasing the same dream every year. For the lucky few, it offers a taste of real glory. It's all the real that makes the NRL Telstra Premiership so unreal. The best way to experience the Premiership is live. Fans can secure their seats at nrl.com/tickets, and this place will be a sellout when they eventually host the final, whether it's in week 1 or week 2. As Tanoa Brown takes them inside the 40. Cohen Hess, who set the tone today, needed to get back out there, as McLean has done for his second stint. So many options here. North Queensland right on the front foot again. Townsend taken down on play 5. Short side here for Drinkwater. Trying to surge his way through a gap that wasn't there, and he'll hand it over a metre out.
Yeah, once again, a really powerful set from the Cowboys, and just quite happy to turn the ball over a metre off their try line and back their defence, trying to force an error here from the Warriors coming out of trouble.
Nanite has departed. Hess back on. The Warriors finishing off against Penrith away next week before they host the Titans at Mount Smart Stadium, where they've recorded their only 2 wins under Stacey Jones back on home soil. Got some arrivals coming to the club in 2023, the likes of Nia Corey, Dylan Walker, Mitch Barnett, and Tamare Martin, who will replace Reece Walsh in that fullback role, with Walsh going the other way to the Broncos. Of course, they'll have a new coach, Andrew Webster, arriving from the Panthers. Ivan Cleary losing his lieutenants in the off-season, as Walsh was crunched late by Leilua there. He's come off second best, Luciano. And as a result, they'll go for a short side dart through Walsh. Leilua trying to soldier on here. Oh, went backwards, only just for Egan. Broken play. Nearly working out as Tom Ale gets his first touch. Just his 5th game in the NRL. Yet to score a try. That's just about as close as he's come. Johnson trying to put Aitken through a gap. He'll hand it over. And look at the celebration. Townsend just rallying his troops. There's still a quarter of the game to go.
Yeah, he's become a good leader, Chad Townsend. He knows what he's played in semi-finals and obviously won a grand final. But he'll push this North Queensland side right out in this last 20-something minutes and make sure they get the job done. Don't slacken off defensively, and it just showed how important it was just to save that tackle and force the error, even though it is 36-4.
Both of these number 7s teammates 65 times. Townsend and Johnson. 34 times with the Warriors back in 14 and 15, and then 31 times at the Sharks across the previous 3 years. Robson almost able to bust them up the middle. Townsend dropping one down to Wateni Zalesniak, who gives Walsh a little bit of a hand, and that tackle over the top from Leilua was a little high. Corsi. No tries for him yet tonight. Rotating his team. Todd Payton taking Hiku and Nanai off in recent times. Uninjured. Nice shift here from the Warriors, but Dearden gets across in cover this time to take down Wateni Zalesniak. And they find their second 4-pointer here, the Warriors. Darcy, again, they look like they might have overrun him. The chase is on the left-hand side. Doesn't matter anyway. Kyle felt the only drama for him was the corner post. Might have given him a little falcon on the way through, but he's still okay to take the tap.
Yeah, we spoke about Chad Townsend, the experience that he's got. There's another player there. Really smart play, positioned himself well in goal, so he knew when he jumped he was going to be in the in goal. Goes out the 20-metre line, a really strong carry, and then fights to get to his feet and earns his side a penalty. He's a smart football player, been around for a while, played in there, obviously their grand final side.
Now it's been Tabuai Fido has been debutising for Felt when he's missed games with the hamstring issues. So Felt's the better option when they're both fit on the right wing. As Todd Payton explained this week, he was asked about it several times and said that Felt's just better in that position, out of yardage in particular.
Yeah, he's a bigger body and obviously his experience, you know, and can finish. He's, as a winger, he's got exactly what you want. Can catch on the high ball defensively and offensively, good at the back end of the field, and most importantly, can score tries.
114 of them for Kyle Felt, including the try on the bell. 2015 grand final. There's no fullback. Drinkwater hunts. Oh, they didn't sense Dearden coming on the blind side. Wateni Zelezniak has his pants pulled down, and the Cowboys have another one.
Well, this Cowboys side, they just never give up. They knew what they were doing here. They saw the fullback in the defensive line. It's a beautiful kick. They got a wicked bounce on the end. Drinkwater thought he was going to score a try. Smart play from Chad Townsend. Sends his fullback in his 5'8", down on the kick chase. An awful bounce, but then it came back, it slowed up, and Dallin Wateni-Zelezniak just gets a terrible bounce at the end. Wished it over the in-goal line and didn't sense Dearden coming, and that's a great try. Just chase, and never give up.
Yeah, and that replay shows he had some traffic to negotiate originally and then able to sneak in on the blind side for his first career double, and that will please the coach. Endeavour like that.
Yeah, he scored one earlier just from sheer power, just threw the dummy and pushed through a hole. On this occasion, chases really hard on the kick. He's had an outstanding season. Like at the start of the year, if you said that the Cowboys are going to be a top 2 team, Dearden's going to get him there, Drinkwater's going to get him, Chad Townsend and and that their man there, he's going to play Origin and play a big factor in Queensland winning the Origin. I wouldn't have believed it, but he's done a great job both for Queensland and for this North Queensland Cowboys side.
Given his opportunity at NRL level ahead of time as a Bronco. As an 18-year-old, I think he debuted. He's only 21 now. Such a big career ahead of him. And 50-plus games already.
Credit to Todd Payton, because he's believed in this young boy as soon as he got to the club, and such a big factor.
What kind of score can they rack up tonight? They're in the mood, the North Queensland Cowboys, and Valentine Holmes makes it 42 now, bending it inside that upright.
Yeah, young Tommy Dearden, even last year, Flano, when he was really struggling with form, he was competing hard on every play, and I think that's his greatest attribute. Just watch him here, gets checked, doesn't give up on the play, gets around Zelezniak and scores a try. He's a wonderful young man, a really talented player, works hard at his craft and deserves all the accolades that he's got this year because of the way he competes on every play.
What do you think of the put down?
Yeah, although that second look, I don't want to slow it down because who knows, but yeah, it's a try. They didn't go back to it. And Tatey's exactly right. He's just one of those players, especially for a young player. Like, he's been talented all through his junior years. We know that. He gets to the Broncos. Things don't work out exactly right. But the main factor for him, he competes really hard. And form will come, it'll work for you, and sometimes it won't. We get a HIA, but that's, as he's exactly right, he just competes hard on every play, Tommy Dearden.
He's been taped up for a while. Thought he might have had his eye poked out by the corner flag a moment ago. Surely the HIA is not for that little coming together after he made that good take, probably for the follow-up when he took the 20-metre restart. And Peter Hicker says, come on, mate, I'm enjoying a little rest here on the sideline. You want me to go back out there? That's what the HIA is for.
Well, Peter Hiku said, get off, old boy. Let me have a bit of fun out there as well.
Surely he'll send the hammer out to the wing. For the time being, he's going to play outside of him, Peter Hiku, and leave Hamaso Tabuai-Fidow in the centres. Cotter, all energy, all action. Started out as a hooker. We thought he'd be back up to Reece Robson throughout this campaign. And now he has a front rower's number on his back week in, week out.
And he'd be one of the smallest front rowers in the competition, but he gets forward, he's hard to handle offensively, and then defensively just works hard as well.
Tabuai-Fidow having to push Hess out of the way. Keeps it alive. Oh, Drinkwater improvising again. Taumalolo back to the fullback. Oh, another little flick for Connor. Get the ball away, he does. For the hammer to go out to Hiku. What do I do now, he says. Pena Hiku to finish it off. Oh, this time he can't finish off another team try. So close to a miracle four-pointer.
Oh, some fantastic play. Drinkwater, he doesn't want to pass it normal. He wants to get a flick pass, a chip kick, a little grubber kick. He came up with everything on that play. And as we said, Hiku, he just comes onto the field. He wants a piece of it. And just a last-minute play by Darcy just knocks the ball out of his hand. But some outstanding football from the Cowboys. They're ready to score again as soon as they get the football.
And look who the try saver came from. It's another Cowboy, Dejan Arce. Not giving up on the play. He did all of that pre-season with North Queensland that was so tough under Todd Payten and saved the try there. You just saw moments ago. Broncos against the Storm coming up next on Friday night on Fox League. We'll be off the Suncorp before you know it. Mistake comes from Youngale.
Yeah, sometimes the harder you try, the worse it gets. And on this occasion for the Warriors, they're trying really hard, but things aren't working for them at the moment. And they come up with an error, and now the Cowboys look for that man Drinkwater teaming up with Dearden down this left-hand side as soon as they get in really good field position.
I reckon he could play a part in the VB8. VB hard-earned index for Reuben Cotter with that moustache. He's a bit of a throwback to the mid-80s.
Sitting on a Queensland balcony.
Oh, one back. Leading that VB hard-earned index at the moment, Reuben Cotter. Coach's dream, the way he goes about it. And a masterstroke from Todd Payten to throw him into the front row as well. Back on the angle goes Holmes, ran behind a couple of teammates and has to give himself up. Did so in the nick of time as the penalty was brewing. Came across to the right-hand side at the last second and had the arm free for a potential offload. Dearden absolutely dynamic, trying to kick for Leilua, and he'll get a backup option of the repeat set.
Yeah, what a play to have to defend Jason Taumalolo. 13 minutes to go. You're tired, you've been defending for long periods of time, and the opposition are all over you. Jason Taumalolo jumps from one side of the ruck down the other side, pulls out of a couple of tackles to get a play the ball as they go short again, but the Cowboys come up through possession through Val Holmes.
Tenny Zalesniak, who was chasing that short dropout, ran into the back of a Cowboy. West Tigers fans just watching on as neutrals tonight say, where's the penalty there at Queensland Country Bank Stadium? I won't go there, sorry. As Cotter goes to McLean. And they can go either way here. Another test for the Warriors defensively, right up the middle. Here's the choice. Taumalolo. No tries in his past 33 games, dating back to round 9 of last season. Doing it all himself. It's oh so easy now. Chad Townsend couldn't believe his eyes. No fullback in position, and he helps himself to a four-pointer.
Well, Speedy, this is a side that is dialed in and understand their football. We see the play before. Taumalolo gets Reece Walsh to tackle him on the try line, and Chad Townsend knows that. They have a ruck play, they get the fullback involved in the tackle, and he knows he can come out here and have free rein, kick him behind the defensive line because the fullback's back at the play the ball. This is a side that is smart. We've got good halves, good spine. You know, yes, he has to get it right. It's a beautiful kick, but he knew what he was doing. The team knew what they were doing. Outstanding coaching, outstanding football, the Cowboys.
Just the great energy in the crowd here at the Queensland Country Bank Stadium, saluting Chad Townsend this time. And the tries just keep on coming. They want to go past the half century tonight. Tom Dearden, the only multiple try scorer tonight. Townsend, Leilua, Hiku, Nanai, Taulagi and Hess have also crossed, and Valentine Holmes has only missed one of his previous 8 attempts.
Come on, Toddy Payton, let your hair down. Leading by 40 plus points. Been outstanding display by the Cowboys. It was Reece Robson on the try line, turning Taumalolo under, getting the fullback involved. Just, as I said, really smart play from the whole team.
Hitting them beautifully. 48 points on the board.
Yeah, I just get the feeling that Chad Townsend's going to be a real key going forward for this Cowboys side come semi-finals time. He's been really vocal tonight, especially defensively, getting his team up, and his football IQ is better than none. He's just an outstanding player, and with a lot of young guys within this Cowboys group, I think they're going to really look to Chad Townsend and that experience come September football.
It hasn't been always easy for Chad. When he first made his debut at the Sharks, he was a young kid, a young half. He battled away, he's played some good football, he had his ups and downs, and then he went over to the Warriors and learned his trade, got a little bit older, understood, you know, what he had to do for the team. He came back to the Sharks, a lot better, more experienced and mature footballer, you know, and obviously a halfback to win the competition as they make a break.
Brilliant work. A couple of big men combined, and here comes the hammer. Hess says, chase this, mate. He'll keep his kicking licence. Hamiso, Tabulai Fino, what were you doing? Put the ball down, man. And finish off the work from Cohen Hess. He ran out of room, and credit the Warriors sticking to the task and saving another potential 4-pointer here.
Well, you're right. What was he doing? Cohen Hess, a beautiful break. I thought he could have just drawn and passed. But the way the Cowboys are at the moment, they don't want to do anything just normal. They want to make it nice and fancy. But once again, Todd Payton won't be happy with that. You've got to finish those opportunities no matter what the score is.
It was an awkward bounce. It did get stuck behind him, but it looked like he could have got it down in the corner a bit earlier than he tried to do.
If he just draws and passes to the
as
hammer,
well. Yeah.
that's a try under the post as well.
Absolutely, yeah. You saw when Townsend scored, he was celebrating in the background, Hess. Now he's got some chasing to do as Bunty Afoa went right over the top of one and had no one looming to finish off his work. Really opening up here in the closing stages. Still 9 minutes of footy to go as Murchie is stopped by Dearden. Again, his defence has been outstanding this year for a little man. There's space. Arcee floats one over the top. Corsi in try-scoring form. Forward flip. And nearly over as the hammer just did enough. Got support in the nick of time as well. Townsend made the work from dummy half tough. Wateni Zalesniak, up he goes. Great contest and then shoved out of the way. He complains to the touchy about that work from Taulagi, and what was the decision? Yeah, it's a penalty.
Thanks. We have a captain's challenge. The on-foot ruling is an escort against Murray. Murray takes Galvin off the ball, denies him a shot.
looking to determine if there's an escort line. There's no escort at this point. We're playing on.
The next part is interesting because Watene-Zelezniak might have a crack at this until Taulagi just shoves him over.
Murray Taulagi then pushes Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, denying him an opportunity to play at the ball. The challenge is unsuccessful.
I didn't want to comment. I've got 3 wrong. I probably would have got 4 wrong.
You just think it's a good use of the body by Taulagi and not a whole lot in it, or?
Well, he can't disappear. Whether he pushed him, I'd like to see it again. He just held his line. Anyway, Warriors play on.
Ale has another go. Slow play the ball for Lussick to go to Johnson. Touched on nicely. Oh, Watene-Zelezniak lost his footing at the key moment. Set, restart once more. Ale will move it on this time. Arcee for Walsh. Played it cleverly. Corsi running out of room now. Hiku does a great job defensively as a makeshift winger. And the Cowboys celebrate another little win defensively.
Yeah, some good defence in the end by Peter Hiku, coming across and having good contact. But Todd Payten won't be happy with some things that happen further in field. I think it's Jason Taumalolo shoots out of the line, trying to pull off a big shot, which makes everyone have to turn their toes in and come up and in. And as they shift out to the back, they just scramble really well, as they have all night, the Cowboys, and they save one. But you've got to stay in your systems no matter what time and what the scoreboard says. Todd Payten will want them to stick this game out and defend for the whole 80 minutes.
What a match-up next. Broncos against the Storm. Brisbane 1 win behind Melbourne on the ladder. The Storm currently in 4th. The Broncos in 6th. If Brisbane can win at home, doesn't it shake up the top 4 picture? That's all coming your way next on Fox League as we take a little look in to Katoni Staggs going about his work in the warm-up. And the Cowboys bring up 50. This is already their highest score since the Premiership year of 2015. Last time they got to this kind of number.
Yeah, they're just a complete side. As I said at the start of the year, I wouldn't have picked it, but the way they're playing, the way they've combined, the way they've worked for their coach, they've been outstanding all year. And, you know, there's not too many weaknesses right across this football team. They've got a good back 5, they've got some power, their spine's working together, their bench makes an impact when they come on. Exactly what you need. So they're a complete football team.
Inside, outside, full of a hammer. Eyeing up the fullback. He'll just cruise around him. Look out. Watene-Zelezniak comes in cover. Brilliant work by the right winger to get there. Drinkwater, though, throws it to Hess. An unlikely conveyance on the right wing, and he could not hold on. Hiku was a little behind the play.
What a run by the hammer. He just sized his fullback up. Knew he had the speed to get around him, but he had to position him where he wanted to. An outside-inside play, and the hammer. Okay, where are you? Right, I'm going to go this side of you. And then gets him, but then all of a sudden, Dallin Watene-Zelezniak comes and gets him in a beautiful try-saving tackle, and then Drinkwater just overplayed his hand, tried to go over the top.
Some points have been slipping through their fingers in recent times as you look at all the line breaks in this one. That is dominance from the Cowboys. Just one little Warriors emblem in there. How do you see that later game going? Broncos against the Storm. They've still got Munster and Hughes in the halves.
The Storm of last week were outstanding. The Broncos last week, you know, they need to get back at home. They need to get some, play some good footy, and it's a time for them to put their their best foot forward. The Broncos, they need to play good footy going into the back end of the year if they're going to be any sort of hope in the semi-finals.
Cowboy goes down here. Doesn't really matter now as rather Warrior went down, and Cowboys cough it up anyway. Accidental offside, the eventual ruling. Chris Butler had some choices.
We know we get what we get from the Storm. They're pretty professional, and they'll be professional at the back end of the year. The Broncos need to show us what they've got and carry it into the semi-finals.
Kyle Felt's going to come back on for a late cameo. Shocking service out of dummy half. Did it go backwards? Yes, it did. So knock on by the Cowboys in the end. And it will remain Warriors ball.
Yeah, Sean Johnson won't be happy with that. Ball way out in front, just a basic skill, dummy half pass. He had no chance of catching it. And it's been a little bit of the story all night for the Warriors. Just things haven't come off. Their skill level hasn't been up to scratch. It's been a tough couple of years for them. I'm sure they'll want to finish the year a bit better than they have at the moment.
Reuben Cotter and Hiku getting a hand as they depart for the final time. Must have been a tough watch for Kyle Felt in the last 15 minutes with that HIA watching a try or two go by the wayside. Now he has to aim up defensively. Can we do anything to try and curb the amount of set restarts that come from scrums attacking wise?
We can, but I think it needs to be done next year. If they continue to do it, someone's got to go to the sin bin. They've got to change the rule because sides just keep doing it, getting offside from scrums rather than concede points.
Up early, Townsend. Lovely pass, trying to squeeze his man through a hole. And did he get there without the aid of a double movement? The referee says yes for Ewan Aitken to score a consolation try here. And that is try number 50 in his career.
Yeah, Ewan Aitken, he just keeps working really hard. He pushes hard into the hole. They got the penalty off the restart, off the scrum for being offside. Sean Johnson comes up with a nice little short pass. He pushes through, and Drinkwater coming in actually pushes him over the try line. I don't think there's any sign of a double movement. I think it's more the impact. Oh, maybe not. 5 from 5 I've got wrong tonight.
You think definitely they'll take this one away?
Yes, I think they will. I think he lifts his arm off the ground. If he doesn't lift his arm, momentum might have slid over the try line.
Chad Townsend just saying to Chris Butler, you've got to do that whistle and hold your hands up there.
If we do have a double movement, I've got Chad Townsend early off the 10 metres.
So he has the last laugh there, the referee.
Yeah.
Says to Chad, get back in your box, mate. Yeah, ball carrying arm.
Ewan Aitken originally breaks the tackle.
So we're okay there, but now it goes down.
The ball carrying arm then touches the ground while 2 defenders are in contact with him, constituting a tackle. He then reaches out to score a try, which is a double movement. With the on-field decision, the referees have an on-field decision of a penalty against Chad Townsend on the 10 metres. We have a decision.
There is none, so it's going to be a penalty against Chad.
So we take Ewan Aitken back to 49 career tries.
So I just think we're at a point in that game, if we want to speed it up, that the referee was really confident in what he saw there, that it was a double movement.
He gave a try though.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
I was confident double movement, but he gave a try.
Well, when a referee is confident of the decision, let's just get on with it.
He spotted a little bobble here, and look at the Cowboys. 78 minutes in and celebrating these mini triumphs along the 80-minute journey. As they get possession back with 2 minutes to go. Don't forget, we'll be swiftly off to Suncorp for the Broncos taking on the Storm in a massive game on Fox League. It's all coming your way next.
Some of those moments in rugby league are manufactured, like if they do force an error, some coaches say get in there and enjoy it and pump the team up. The Cowboys at the moment, they're not manufactured. They force an error like that. They're from winger to winger. They're in there enjoying those moments, and they respect them, and they sort of give credit to the people who are involved in them on the field at the time.
Oh, he came out of the line there, hunting, did Tom Ale, and missed the mark on Cohen Hess. Tamalolo had a dummy half. He's lost it into contact. So it's a scrappy kind of end to this fixture after the Cowboys did so much damage early on. They've scored 26 or more points in all 8 home wins, though, so far this year. This is why we talk, and there'll be so much talk over the next fortnight. Can the Cowboys secure a top 2 finish and play at home week 1 of the finals? And then we presume Penrith have had such a good year, they'll have Cleary back week 1 of the finals. They'll be favourites to win, and then they can avoid Penrith until the grand final potentially. But if you suddenly slip back to 3rd or 4th, and it's a different kind of equation to get to grand final day in Sydney, of course, as confirmed this week. Townsend reefs it out on play 1, and it's been a tough night for Reece Walsh.
Well, if you ask me the question, can they win and get into a can they win a grand final? I'm not sure. Can they get into a grand final? Definitely. They've got the defence. They're number 2 defensively in most stats. And you just said, Speedy, they score a lot of points. They can score points, and their first home semi is going to be at home, as we have a little bit of push and shove here, Kyle felt. But they can definitely make a real big impact in this semi-finals. Good defensive team and can score points. Well, that puts them in the picture.
It's getting away from us time-wise here. It'll be wall-to-wall rugby league. No ad breaks. We'll be straight to Suncorp for kickoff in the next one on Friday night on Fox League. Wall-to-wall rugby league each and every Friday night. Oh, Tamalolo looked up and saw Murchie coming his way. Clean ball playing for Griffin Knee. Looks like they'll come up short of the 50 unless they can create something here in the last 20 seconds. And Drinkwater's taken down on that play. Townsend driving it from inside the 40, hunting at 40-20 against the odds. Out on the full. And that'll just about do us. The Warriors in no hurry to restart the game. And the Cowboys bounce back from defeat against the Roosters with a big home win here to solidify their top 2 spot right now. They win it 48 points to 4.